All right, traders, let's get our micros in the gates.
Ooh. Ooh.
All right. I'm passing it back to Andre. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning, Eddie. I did not screw that up this time. I appreciate you working with me on that. Welcome, everybody, to TopstepTV Fast Markets. Here we are. We got Deanna. We got JD. We got Hogue. What's happening, everybody? John, we got the opening bell here in about 90 seconds or so. What are we looking for on the open? I was just watching you in the opening call, and maybe you can repeat some of that for some of our newer viewers. We got a big day today. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where the equities are opening up, the S&P and the NASDAQ, we're right in the middle of the range from Friday and inside of value. So typically that's going to be a hurry up and wait situation. There's very little change in the perception of value of the equities. Yep. You know, it's not out of balance in the day time frame. It is still out of balance on the daily time frame. But because we are opening inside range and value, I would think twice before taking an opening range trade. I feel like better trade locations are going to come as the day goes on.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is Monday, beginning of the week, big, huge earnings week, a lot coming out. So definitely be patient. Deanna, welcome to Fast Markets again. What will we be trading today? Are we still is crude still on pause for the time being?
Yeah, so crude seems to be making some moves, but mostly for Asia and London sessions. And then by the time we kind of get to NYMEX, it's still doing a bit of a quiet. Yep. It's still doing a bit of a quiet NYMEX. So I'm still putting it on the back burner and still just mainly observing. Tried a couple of trades on Friday. And again, I had the same situation where it only went to about 30 ticks profit. So I'm not really liking that just yet. So I'm going to wait until that range expands a little bit more so that we have more to work with. Therefore, I'm staying with gold. Gold seems to have paused a little bit when it comes to that strong uptrend. Why do I say that? Well, if we have a look at the weekly chart, you can see that we are still in range, and now we've been selling off from the start of this Monday. There is some signs. When I go back to some of my stats, I see that over the last 10 years, gold does tend to have this tendency to pause halfway through April and then to reverse trend, whatever trend is in force up until that point. So I'm a little bit mindful of trend exhaustion here. And this is why all of my high posts today are maybe a little bit more on the short side, even though I have a couple that will account for maybe a gap fill, because we did open with a gap. But all in all, I'm going to wait until the initial balance is definitely done, and maybe C period as well, because obviously gold opened slightly earlier, just to have a little bit more information before I pop a trade in. I do see that London has exhausted the average daily range and largely ignored it. What that tells me is that there's a higher chance of a single direction day downwards. So again, it kind of tells a story of a potential trend exhaustion. So I really want to see what happens here. I have 4 high posts that I'm going to be working from. One of them is looking for weakness inside the initial balance, which we kind of already have. But again, it's a little bit too early to just jump. Second hypo is a long trade potential. I said that really weird. So the gap fill would mean that we go into quite a bit of aggressive buying, and then to try somewhat close the gap from Friday. When I say gap, I of course mean the distribution curve from Friday, which us profile traders call the value area, and we're quite a bit far away from it. So third hypo would be a continued short through the daily demand. And if we actually end up breaking this week below 23.21, and if we close and sustain the price below that level, that will signal a trend change for me. So, I will be looking for more short setups. And then the final hypo is a neutral day type, where we don't really go to any particular new levels, but we kind of stay in a range, having extended the first hour of trading to both sides. So again, nice variety of hypos. Just need to stay patient and to look for asymmetric opportunities in whatever scenario we find ourselves in.
Okay, very good, very good. Deanna's ready to go for this Monday, this big week. Like I said, lots of earnings. All the big companies coming out this week. Stay tuned. JD, welcome to Fast Markets. JD, what will you be trading today?
What's up, guys? I have the NASDAQ up right now. If you switch over to my charts, I'm looking at a daily to start off with. Yeah, just based on momentum and we've had a couple weeks of lower closes. Friday, that moved down, decent volume, increase on open interest, everything you want to see in a healthy break, you know. So I have an initial bias to the short side right now, but it's been fairly choppy overnight. I'm not expecting to see too big of a move today. Of course, that could change. These two lines I got down here right now, 17,360, 17,300, those are measured move targets from a couple price or chart patterns that we were looking at last week. We had run over through these real quick. So we had sort of this double top here that we were looking at last week or a couple weeks ago. All these measured move targets hit last week pretty swiftly, actually. So yeah, just a measured move down from there. It takes us to 300. And then we also had this diamond pattern that we were looking at.
Dow's seeing some sellers here.
Yep.
Yeah, JD.
So based on the breakout of this is just a lower right trend line of that the diamond pattern that we were looking at last week. The breakout was right around 18, let's call it 60. So 700 point move down from there. It takes us to 17,360. Yep. And this area is kind of lining up nicely with this little resistance area going back to late December of last year. So I just kept those lines up as sort of, I don't know, value areas almost. Not value areas, but areas of interest that I'll be keeping an eye on. When levels like that line up together, sometimes it's more than just a coincidence, you know. So I'll be keeping an eye on those levels today. Nothing on yet. But as far as the house count goes, my initial bias would be to the short side, trading the NASDAQ or the ES if we're going to throw something on early today.
Sounds good. So as far as levels, we pulled some levels overnight. We're seeing levels around the shorting 17,380, shorting 17,400 in the the NASDAQ there. It's kind of what a consensus we have for the time being. We aren't there yet. We are kind of just opening up, chopping around. JD, keep feeding me those levels. I think I like that downside. That measured move that you called to 17,360. What were we trading the NASDAQ when you did tell us about that? Where you did highlight that price? Because that was last week, and we got there. We did get there quickly. At the time, it seemed like that price was pretty far away, but yet here we are.
Yeah, it happened in just a couple of days.
You nailed that one.
Well, these are basic chart patterns that we were looking at, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
To educate people on simple things that everybody, you know, really should know, and those patterns played out beautifully, both of them.
Sure did,
there's actually three patterns we were looking at. We were looking at a rounded top, a double top, and the diamond formation, and all three of them hit in just a matter of 3 days. Okay. You know, we had the breakout last Monday, and by Friday, call it 4 days, by Friday we had our measured move targets.
Wild.
I hope some people were paying attention and were able to take advantage of it.
I hope so too, JD. That was good stuff. I got my daily levels here. Got the trading checklist pinned to the top of the chat here. Like Eddie said, it is a fire drill Monday. We rarely do fire drills on Monday, so this is how we start off the big week like this. You guys are welcome, but please tune in. Stay with us today. We got the fire drill coming up here at some point today. Yes. Stay tuned. But for the time being, let's trade. John, anything in this opening range looks like it's pretty tight from what I'm gathering, but help me decipher what we're looking at here on this open. Unmute.
There it is.
I hate that. Sorry about that. All right, I apologize. So far, the opening range in the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow is the high of the regular trading hour session. We have Anne-Marie in the chat talking about how she just bought VWAP in the NASDAQ, and now I have VWAP at 17,271. You know, right now the market is looking to the downside. We are testing those VWAPs. We're below VWAP in the S&Ps. Opening range, the high of the session, which puts me with JD, and I think all of us that we're looking for opportunities for shorts today. What I was really hoping for, and we have not been able to get there just yet, was this afternoon pullback high in the S&Ps, 50.37.5, and the same weekly kick, the same afternoon pullback high from Friday in the NASDAQ, which is 17.340.5. Now I'm looking at our levels that we get sent in. Nobody has really picked out those levels. So, at the very least, they give you the opportunity to lean against those levels and to limit risk. If we get opportunity there, it means the opening range in all three of these equities is probably going to get taken out to the upside, which lends, I think, a little bit more towards balance. But right now, the opening range trades, they're not even at 1-to-1 reward over risk just yet.
All right.
I still think that we're going to get better trade location as the day goes on here. Unfortunately, I know that's not very active or early in the morning here, but this is the way I'm seeing it. So we'll see how this plays out. We're getting a little pop here in the NASDAQ off that VWAP. Anne Marie's got, it looks like a nice trade on.
Very nice. All right, we got some initial levels here. So we got basically a consensus of big fat round numbers getting along around 17,300. If we can build some momentum to the upside, targeting move to 17.4 to the upside. But like I said, we do see some downside bearish bias as we don't necessarily have some levels, maybe levels beneath. John, keep me posted on if we see some of these come into play. But right now we are just kind of just a little bit of a slow open, which is to be expected here on a Monday. So if it's going to be slow, Topstep TV is here to help you get through it. Stay disciplined, stay patient on some of these trades. JD, if you see any of these levels come into play, please holler at me. Deanna,
Oh yeah, I'll
let you guys get back to trading here. Deanna, what are we seeing? Anything? I know it's a bit slow. You're very good at being patient. You're very good at letting the market and trade come to you. Tell us what you're seeing right now.
Right now, I'm just seeing C period in gold popping below the initial balance, but so far having trouble staying below it. So there could be maybe a failed auction. It's just I don't really like doing failed auction trades on a Monday this early when everything else is telling me that we might go in the other direction. So again, staying patient, trying not to be a grasshopper, trying to stalk the market for a very, very good setup here. Because, on a Monday, you don't want to put yourself in a hole. Like the one thing that I really hate doing is starting the Monday with a losing trade. So typically you will see me wait quite a while for that good high probability opportunity, and then to try and get some budget for the rest of the day and thereby the rest of the week. Because you don't want to spend the rest of your week trying to get yourself out of a hole. So therefore, that's the main reason for me staying patient, avoiding pain.
Yes, it's true. There's nothing worse than having a bad Monday, tough Monday, and the rest of the week you're just digging yourself out of that hole. Makes for a long week. Come Thursday, you are exhausted. Come Friday, you don't even want to trade.
I'm also traveling tomorrow. I'm going to go see my mom for a few days, so I'm going to be coming at you Tuesday and Wednesday from Belgrade. But for now, I don't know how much time I'm going to have tomorrow to trade before Marcus talking with Dee, because, I'm going to be with my mom. I haven't seen her from February, so the worst thing that I can do is just be, all eager to trade and then do some stupid low probability trades that might work out, and then just go, okay, so now what? And then Tuesday, go to see my mom. It's like, what's up? I'm like, I had a bad Monday.
What's up, Mom? It's your daughter. What's up, Mom?
Yeah. What's up, Mom? So so just, patience, being very mindful of the budgeting for the week, because, trading does have that accounting side to it that not many people pay attention to. Like a lot of people like to destroy combines on Fridays. I see that a lot. So they kind of trade well for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they're like, right, well, now I'm going to go hard, and, I'm just going to pass this thing, and then quite the opposite happens. So let's try and, assume that we are not going to ruin the work that we've done so far. So last week I was in profit. So again, primary thing there is to save that profit rather than use that to, spend it on low probability trades. So high probability trades this week, we have rollover in gold as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So this Friday.
Yeah, you mean expiration.
So it's Friday, isn't it? Yeah. This is also another reason not to rush into anything, because whilst you can have these like trending days on rollover weeks because people are kind of bailing from old contracts and going into new ones, you can also have a few days where it's very quiet. So I'm kind of mindful of all of that kicking around in my head and just waiting to have a little bit more information and to obviously find a nice, solid trade for my first trade of the week. I didn't trade London today. I had to do some other things. So this is like the first time that I'm actually looking at the charts for the week.
We'll ease ourselves.
Stay patient.
Yep, ease ourselves into this. Right now, as I tried to take a peek above 17,300, got rejected quickly. We do have a level we can build some upside momentum there, possibly take along to the breakout 17,000, but we are seeing a bit of a bias to the downside for the time being. So taking along would be counter trend on the longer time frame, I guess. John, the only thing that seems to be consistently moving here is down. That's moving to the downside. I did take a peek at the tilt. With this downside move, I did see it was 80% short in the YM. They peeled it off a little bit, deck to 62% short. Crude seen a pop here. Like John said in opening call, we are very sensitive and susceptible to headline geopolitical risk out of the Middle East. It's been a little quiet over the weekend, so you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, we pray for peace around here, but you can't hold on to these positions for too long and marry these trades for too long. If you do, you are susceptible to these headline risks. It might be see profit, take profit. We will see how this Monday plays out. But for the time being, Dow took a bit of some sell-off here, but nothing really followed through as far as S&P's.
The Dow opened with a gap, Andre. There was some long overnight inventory. Those longs didn't get paid. The market opened. It left the opening range the high of the day. It's already almost come back to close the gap to settlement. It has closed the range gap, so I'm watching to see if we see some signs of acceptance inside range and especially value in the YM. So because that could push us lower. That if we start to show acceptance of value, that could be a decent trade on that. But as far as the S&P and the NASDAQ, we're still right in range. The NASDAQ has been holding up really well with the Dow kind of cracking. The NASDAQ is holding basically inside the opening range. This gold bar here shows the range for the first minute, 17,307 down to 17,287. So that's the opening range, and we're still in it in the NASDAQ. We're still testing it. We're still trying to see if we can take out the high. Opening range in the S&P is 50,2875 up to 50,3275. We're holding below it, but the weakest of the three right now is definitely the NASDAQ. Opening range rather sizable here. It did open with a gap. Okay, there's the range gap. Did that right away. Now, if it gets back down to settlement gap, and if we show signs of acceptance and value here, this is a pretty decent opportunity for a long. But if we do show acceptance in there, that could bring us all the way to the low end of value from Friday, which is down to 38,118. Right now, we've rejected value from yesterday. This might be an interesting opportunity for us as the day goes on here.
All righty. All right. JD, what levels you got? Anything you're seeing around here?
We're right at that 17,300 level in NASDAQ right now. We do have a heat map short. I'm looking at what Robert's saying in Slack right now. He puts together a heat map based on all of the trading levels that people send into us. We send on a forum and people share their levels with us. So that 300 to 319 was a sort of a sell target based on what the community's saying. We're hovering right around there now, kind of. We're still in a 40-point range in the NASDAQ. No breakout. Looked like it was going to pop, maybe see a small range extension there, but we haven't seen it yet. Really just super choppy and thin at the moment. So not much to talk about early on. This is a good opportunity for a cheap trade right around here, though, if we want to dip our toes in the water.
I do have the house account up. I don't know if it's going to be a cheap trade because house account doesn't do cheap trades, but I do have 15 lot queued up here, right around this NASDAQ level, 17,300. Maybe we can take another peek to the upside here, possibly take a short up around here. It is early. We will see how it goes. We do, yes, look at that heat map. I was looking at the same thing you got. We do have a bit of a consensus at this level, 17,300. John, you seeing anything confirming this level up here, 17,300?
Other than the fact that it is inside the opening range. I mean, we're about to take that out, though. We're about to take that out. So, the one level that I'm looking at in the NASDAQ and the S&Ps today is that afternoon pullback high on Friday. In the NASDAQ, again, 17,340. In the S&Ps, 50.37.5. If we get a pop here and we start to show some structure up around that 17.340 level, that might be something to think about.
17.340. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll see if this rally, we'll let this run out.
What that afternoon pullback low says, Andre, is, as we were breaking on Friday, the market came all the way back up to this 13.340 level. I actually think Nick T was calling it out in the chat. He was like 16.340, 16.340. It showed that, the buyers backed off there, sellers took over, and we ended up, kind of closing on our patoot. That's why that's kind of an important level today for me.
All right. 17,340. Maybe we can get a better trade entry there, Robert. We didn't miss the trade. Rest assured, we didn't miss the trade. We just get better trade location. So see if we get a pop up here to 17,340. Then we'll take a short on the house account because we got levels lining up there. We got confirmation. Heat map 17,340.
We don't have to risk. Level. We don't have to risk the whole wad up there. We want that level to hold.
Yes, we do.
We've taken out the high of the opening range in the NASDAQ. We have not taken out the high of the opening range in either the S&P or the Dow.
I think you could scale in some offers too. That zone between 17,340 and 17,360. That's a solid. We're entering there right now.
I got you, James.
Someone's asking, it's their first time joining Topstep. May I know what is fire drill?
What is the fire drill? Fire drill. Well, hold on. I got to watch this trade. We will tell. We'll get right back to you with that question. We got to let this trade play out right here.
So I'll take over for that, Andre. So the fire drill is sometime today. We are going to be offering, let me make sure I get this all right. We are going to be offering 5,000 trading combines in Topstep X, which now, again, you can trade the micros even to the S&Ps. If you're trading 5 minis, you can trade 50 micros in the S&P, the NASDAQ, any of the products except silver. Silver is 5-to-1. So we are... Well, let me make sure I've got this right here. I got to double check. Got to double check everything here. So when the fire drill goes off, you're going to be able to enter your name to win one of 5,000 invitations to lock in one Topstep X trading combine for 50% off. I knew that. I just wanted to make sure you don't want to misspeak here. So when the fire drill goes off, you're going to have 15 minutes to fill out the form. The code will expire when we send it to you on April 13th at 11:59 p.m. Central. So you want to make sure you get that done get your account before April 13th or April 30th, I should say. Winners are randomly selected. Those selected will be sent a code via email by Tuesday morning. That's tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So you'll be able to get into the Topstep X platform. This is available for anybody, even if you have already had a Topstep X trading combine or account. And so, you're going to be able to trade those micros at 10-to-1, the minis. Great opportunity for everybody to get this opportunity, to get this platform and to be able to trade the micros that way.
Thank you for that, John.
You betcha.
Yeah, I got watching here. We never got up to the 340s just yet. Maybe we get a little too greedy with the price entry, but see if we can get some more run to the upside here. Maybe take a short into that. For the time being, though, just let this play out. We are 22 minutes into the trade. Let's see how this goes. But looking for sure around 17,340.
I'm looking at that 340 level. D, you know what that is? That's the IB low from Friday to the T.
Right.
Getting some confluence here. That's what I like.
All right, let's see what we got here. I'm getting excited.
Oh, boy. Nothing like the house account. Take a look at the tilt here. Yeah, 69% long gold. All right, see if we catch this bid here. 17,340. 17,340 target for the short.
The thing about this is we don't have to lose. If it doesn't go our way, we don't have to use all the risk.
No,
should be a relatively cheap trade if we get the opportunity.
Okay, I like that. Cheap trades are my favorite kind of trades.
Yes, Michael, it is 50% off for the first month only. Thank you for pointing that out. Yep.
71% long in gold, 70% long in NASDAQ.
NASDAQ. Getting a little tilty.
A little tilty. I'm sure we'll get more tilty as we keep running up here to the 340s if we get there. Hey, Eddie, I know I got you there. It is light on ecos. Eddie, if you got a second, what if anything, do we even have today for ecos? Because I saw we had Verizon earnings before the bell, but that's about all I got. Maybe 3, 6. Eddie, what do you got? Anything?
Well, today we've got the burnt toast and a rotten egg. Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. You got it. 10 o'clock, you got the burnt toast. 11 o'clock, we got the rotten egg.
Yes, the Blues Brothers reference. 10:30 today, Central Time, 3-month bill auction and the 6-month bill auction. And that is it. But you never know when those feds want some OT. Oh, yeah. So I'll keep an eye on that also. Back to you, Andre.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, so far, got a bit of a push here.
We are in a
what's up?
We are in a Fed blackout period right now, so we're not going to be hearing too much out of the Fed this week ahead of next week's FOMC meeting.
That's right.
Keep that in mind. Okay. And then we've got personal income and outlays coming out Friday. That's the number everybody's really looking for, so it could be slow going into that. Personal opinion there. And it is Monday morning. Hangover Mondays, right?
Could be.
I'm filling in for MP's traveling this week, so you're going to get a lot out of me this week.
Whole lot of JD this week.
I'm sort of easing into it too. I know I'm being a little quiet right now, just getting my bearings, getting the feel for it. I haven't done the full fast markets segment yet. I've only been a visitor a couple of times, so
you can do it.
You're in for a treat.
Do it. We don't have a choice. I got to do it.
Glad to have you here, JD. Glad to have you here.
You are in for a treat, everybody. Welcome, JD, to the show. JD's the man. He's gonna be playing a little bit of Voice of God here, a little bit. Spitting those levels, but I do got the levels. All right, waiting for 17,340. Maybe we're getting a little greedy with that entry. JD rocks, they say. There you go, JD. You got some fans out there. It's good to see. We'll see how this plays out. Let me know if you guys do pull a trade. We do have everyone's names and positions at the top of the board here.
MP in the chat.
He is? Oh, wow. Wow.
What's up, Michael?
Michael is on the move today. He is traveling.
There he is. Yep.
We're blasting his car stereo right now. Blasting in the car
driving.
No texting and driving, Michael. Please be safe.
YouTube chatting and driving. That's even worse.
We need you back. Yes, we do. All right. NASDAQ holding above 17,300. You get some rejection at the 2025 level.
So close.
So close. It's okay. Something tells me we'll have another shot at this thing.
Yeah. I think we will.
S&P is very quiet. S&P is very quiet right now.
Yeah. I'm seeing some size up at 50.36 even. 347 on the offer at 36 even in the S&Ps. Andre, look, do you see the dome in the S&Ps? It is a lot thicker than it was last week.
Wow, let me see. Let me take a peek. Well, yeah, it's better than last week. Yes, it is. From like 3 weeks. I mean, we're still seeing 50 up. How many prices above? How many prices below are you looking here, John?
Well, I'm just looking at within the first 20. I mean, almost every bid, almost every offer has at least 100 on it. Where last week, I mean, we were in double digits within 10 prices from the last price. It looks a lot thicker today.
Yeah. Thank God. It was getting a little too thin for a little too long there.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of today, a little bit down about 2.6%. Still, I mean, still relatively high for the recent levels. It's still 18.19 right now, 18.19. But at least a little of the fear seems to be coming out, and that's bringing some liquidity back into this.
So
Man, oh man,
break beneath 17,300.
Man, oh man. Maybe we should have done what JD said and scaled into this.
That was a nice short off the 20s there, if he managed the risk right.
Just didn't get there.
That's all right. There's another trade coming. Another bust coming, as they say.
Yep.
No FOMO here. No FOMO.
Oh, I got it. Trust me. The days of FOMO, the markets beat that out of me, FOMO, because you know there's another trade coming.
Yep.
Yep, same.
S&Ps still haven't taken out the high of the opening range. And the Dow is miles from it. But
Dakota's in the market.
Friday's value high.
Dakota's in the chat.
Yeah.
Long 5 contracts, 80.95 live account. CL.
Yeah.
CL, wow. Nice.
Yep.
Let's see if I can see what he's seeing.
You saw in the email this morning, it had Dakota ranked number 2 on our leaderboard. Dakota is it had him showed him ranked number 11 on our leaderboard when he is in fact ranked number 2. There's a little problem. One of the dashboards spitting out some bad data, but we nailed it down. Dakota is in fact number 2 on the leaderboard at Topstep.
Oh, wow. Congrats there, Dakota. Yep, that was the short there.
Did really well. Yeah, it was. We get within about, let me see here, 31, within about 8 points of it, that 40 level. We'll see if we get another shot at it.
Yeah. S&P is very quiet right now. I got levels around 45 to 49 area in the S&Ps. We still got a ways to go till we get to that. We got 4,000 people watching right now. Welcome to Topstep TV. For those that are new, welcome to Fast Markets. Please click like. Please click subscribe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a busy week. Hope you guys have.
All right, boom. NASDAQ just turned around right there.
Didn't quite hit the VWAP, but yeah, nice little pop coming in.
S&P's popping.
What's Mick up to?
Mick has his morning stand meeting. He's sitting right behind me.
Talking loud.
Not much. Oh, let me mute it up.
See, I'm kidding. Jag.
So a lot of folks asking, what is a fire drill? The fire drill is going to happen at some point today. We're going to have a big siren and a whole bunch of noise, and we're going to post a link in the chat that is going to allow you to sign up for a Topstep X Combine account at 50% off for the first month only. The form will be up for 15 minutes only. The randomly chosen 5,000 people will have that opportunity to join the Topstep Trading Combine on Topstep X for half off that first month. So stick around a while. You don't want to miss that opportunity. And this is for anybody that has already had Topstep X or those of you that have not had Topstep X. So we're really excited about it. And don't forget, you can now on Topstep X, you can trade, the micros, with the same amount of leverage and risk as the minis. If you can trade 5 minis, you'll be able to trade 50 micros. A lot of folks have been looking forward to this. We're very excited about it. Remember, it is only for now on Topstep X because we are going to be adding those to other platforms in the future. I have no timeline, no promises as to when that's going to happen, but it is going to be available on Topstep X.
Very exciting stuff. You guys asked, we answered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's been a pain point for a lot of traders for a couple of years now. We got it done though.
Mm-hmm.
So we did.
Yeah, so jump on that Topstep X deal if you want to trade multiple micros.
Again, we know that people are attached to their platforms, and we're not suggesting anybody change their platform, but we're trying to make Topstep X so good that you're gonna wanna change platforms. And with all your help and all your suggestions, we are doing a fine job on it. It's happening very quickly, and eventually you may want to just come over to the Topstep X platform.
You're not joking about switching platforms either.
No, that's one of the most difficult things traders go through.
Mm-hmm.
Just going from platform to platform. We're creatures of habit. And of course, we know there is a transition period, but trust us when we say Topstep X is the best out there. And you guys are helping us build this, we're building this thing together. So you got that.
Can you join the Topstep X platform right now? No, you can't. It is still by invitation only, but it's not going to be too long, folks, where you're going to be able to just go in and get a trading combine on Topstep X. Not going to be long at all. Again, I'm not giving you a date, but I can tell you it's coming up pretty quickly. We took out the high of the opening range in the S&Ps now.
So, okay.
So officially in the S&P and the NASDAQ, the best trade location was not off the opening range. I'm glad we didn't take it.
We're agile around here. Looking for got levels up at 45 and 49, 45 through 49s in the S&P's, possible short up there. Right now we're just chilling.
Mm-hmm. A lot of folks are asking how you can make...
on.
Oh,
all right.
Good.
Yeah, so I've got 4 micros gold from 23.49.8. Reason for micros is because gold is in a huge range right now. So even this position, I'm risking about 218, 220 per trade. And I'm looking for a continuation to the downside. Obviously, if I don't get it, I'm going to be out. But for now, it's kind of moved into some profit pretty quickly, which is usually a pretty decent sign. But we are still at that time of day when there's a lot of movement, a lot of volatility. So again, I have to stay patient with this particular trade.
Nice.
Got 82% long here in the YM. I repeat that, 82% long in the YM on the tilt.
A lot of folks asking, how do I make suggestions for Topstep X? How do I tell you guys what I need? And if you have Topstep X, you're going to love this. If you don't have Topstep X, Topstep X yet, you may get it. You may have that opportunity starting tomorrow. But here it is. It is on this question mark right here. If we can go on my charts, I'll show everybody where that is. So on this question, on the platform right here, this question mark, that is going to take you to where you can put feedback in, where you can vote on feedback. There's a whole bunch of people that have already put stuff in there. You can vote yes, you can vote no, you can vote maybe not that important, whatever it is. You're going to see the roadmap right here. We've got right now in progress. Well, here, finished. Micros to minis, 10-1. Done. Yay. There's one down. In progress. Improvements to the trade copier. Allow the change of position on the position P&L to be in ticks. We've also got right on this list here. I think we're still working on it a little bit here. The Delta's soon going to be on here. But we've got all of these in review where you can go in and you can check out how many people voted for it. You can vote for it. And then you can go to the change log and you can say, okay, this was added on the 10th. We just added micros today. So these are all things that you're going to be able to suggest directly with the tech team, directly with support, directly with all of us. And, whichever ones are voted most for are the ones that are going to take priority. We want to get everything done eventually, but we've got to take things one at a time, and we're adding things almost daily. It seems like we're really doing a good job of expanding and adding the things that the traders, are asking for. So make sure you go in there, check it out, vote for the things that you like. You can help move them up the ladder as to when they're going to get taken care of.
So we got Josh N in the chat saying 82% long tilt in the YM out of 14 people trading it.
Yep.
Well, Josh, it just so happens I got the data here right in front of me, and last week we had 845 traders trading the YM,
Nice.
averaging about right around 370 trades per day. So that tilt is good data for the Dow for sure. Most popular trader product, obviously, NASDAQ. Almost twice the number of NASDAQ traders over ES traders.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, more than double.
Wow. All right, trading 17,280 here in the NASDAQ. Some more selling to the downside. VWAP.
Man, oh man, I hate it when they don't get to your levels.
It's all right.
That was
Still
sweet.
selling here.
It was sweet.
Meta's
on a little bit on the skids here.
Okay.
Apple just kind of range bound, but Meta's coming off a little bit here. We do have Meta's earnings coming out Wednesday after the close. Tesla's earnings tomorrow after the close. Microsoft and Alphabet Thursday after the close. Starting to see some of the Mag 7 come out as far as their earnings are concerned this week.
Yes, we are. Big week for earnings. Big week for earnings. Should be fun. Should be a lot of fun.
Jay, tilt for the Dow is not currently on the platform. You can see it if you look at the screen on the crawl right at the top there. That's where we're looking at it.
Yeah, we'll also keep you updated here. We're giving you real-time info. When we say it here, we're doing it in real time, not delayed. We do see it, though.
There's a slight delay when you're watching the YouTube stream, just because there's a natural 2 or 3 second delay from obviously when we stream it live to when it actually what you're actually seeing. So yeah, so just a slight couple second delay. We'd love to call it real time, but I guess legally it's not.
Is anything real time when it comes to TV? There's got to be some sort of delay. I think Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake ruined that for everybody there, JD. A long time ago. That's a dated reference. That's a very dated reference.
I remember.
It's a very dated reference for those that know, but they think they ruined live television for everybody. And now they're
Dre, how long ago was that?
That was a Super Bowl, right?
It was a Super Bowl. Oh, boy. 20 years ago, well, at least-ish. Somewhere around there. But yes, that was the end of live television as we knew it.
It's hard to believe 20 years has passed.
Thank you.
My goodness. Time flies.
Yes, it does.
We'll have you naked by the end of this show, Andre.
There's a wardrobe malfunction.
Well, it looks like we've had
I got that.
We've had another wardrobe malfunction here this morning. Apparently the fire drill is for 25% off.
Oh.
Not 50%.
Oh, I don't think that's going to hurt demand very much. But yes.
No. We apologize for that. It was not me. It was an error, and the errors happen. We understand that. We do apologize for that. But again, it is for 25% off, not 50% off. Sorry about that.
Oh, good, John.
I wasn't going to call anybody out, but they've called themselves out.
They know who's under the bus. That's all that matters. We don't need to call it out.
No.
What's up, Austin Silver? See you in the chat. See you later this afternoon.
Hogue, speaking of your opening range trade, you were mentioning that just a few minutes ago. We had Andre on last week from Edgeful, and he offered to make us a couple custom
Indicators?
project dashboards.
Cool.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could throw some data at them around these
turned that
opening
around
range
already.
trades and see what kind of information we can get out of it. Maybe what days of the week it works best, if there is a day of the week that it works best.
I think it's a great idea, and we could also, say which one works the best. Is it a 1 minute, a 2 minute, a 3 minute, a 4 minute, or a 5 minute?
Yeah, in multiple markets too. So
in multiple markets, yeah, that would be great.
Put as much data together as we can and send it over to them. See what happens.
Yeah, that was a very cool segment. Very eager to work with us, as are we. Yeah, that was good
he's
stuff.
got a great
All
product. He really does.
He does. He's going to send us some stuff that he's going to hit us with some aha moments where the light bulb just turns on and be like, oh, like the gap fill. Was it 80% of the time the gap gets filled on the reopen, on a Sunday reopen?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. All right, starting to see some more sellers here, Naz. There's some levels to the downside here. Maybe we can get out of this range. Possibly taking along here.
S&P is back down to VWAP. NASDAQ already back down below it. Dow's getting a bounce, though.
All right.
Here's the Dow. So, in essence, I mean, I would call this settlement gap close enough for rock and roll.
I didn't even read it. I just was
right here.
Mentioned it got shared in a separate channel that you guys didn't have access to.
And it traded basically right to the high of value from the previous day and bounced off of that. That's value rejection. We unraveled all the overnight inventory. All those shorts are gone. Right to the value high from Friday, bouncing off of that. That was a pretty good opportunity. I wonder if Dolby's trading right now. That would have been a good. That would have been a nice one.
Cool. All right. Well, we are still in this range, and we haven't seen major breakouts yet. Deanna's still monitoring her trade, maintaining that trade. Let's go to Jack. We just did briefly hear his voice there with that JT reference. So, Jack, how are we looking? Are we looking on for 15 here?
So as JD mentioned, there's no Fed speakers this week. I don't know what they'll do with all that extra time. Probably annoying their spouses, families, neighbors, etc., with their thoughts on interest rates. We do, however, have a bunch of earnings data coming out this week from some of the biggest companies, including Microsoft is announcing. We got Tesla announcing, who has been single-handedly dragging down the S&P Composite Automobile Index. So definitely some things to watch. With the 10-year yields pushing above 4.6, we need some real good earnings to keep this floating on. Follow up on Copenhagen, where the old stock exchange set on fire last week. About half of the 400-year-old building collapsed, but they were able to move the nice stuff out, the paintings, the what have you. So not a complete loss. Now they're beginning to investigate what happened, who or what caused this. So could be interesting there. And speaking of interesting, this is just incredible to me. Apparently, Tom Cruise at age 61 did the splits at the Spice Girls reunion birthday party. So
did the splits.
So let me do the math here. So that gives me 24 years to gain the flexibility to do the same at I don't know, the Topstep 50th anniversary or whatever. Wow. So I'm starting today. I can almost touch my toes. I'm coming for you, Cruz.
Hopefully his pants made it. Hopefully he didn't split his pants.
Oh, I'm sure he's wearing like the Lululemon stretchy stuff, right? I mean, it's not something you just do. He knew he was doing the splits. My aunt used to do that at family parties, and she got stuck one time.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, my dad's a physician, and he had to come over and give her some muscle relaxants.
Oh my God!
But it was quite the scene. So do the splits at your own peril. Sorry to bring that up, Aunt Kate.
All right, still see some sellers here. NASDAQ looking for some levels downside. Taking long or gathered shorts. Trading 17,250 in the NAS. Trading 50.25 in the S&Ps.
So close. And yet so far. So if you look at our levels to the downside here, Andre, the volume point of control from Friday that I'm seeing on my charts here was 17,150. 17,150. That takes us down to 17,180 as settlement. Go ahead, JD.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've got 17,157 for volume point of control on my charts.
All right.
So, right there. Good area.
Right there.
And yeah. 17,181 settlement. 180, 181.
NASDAQ, correct? Yes.
NASDAQ.
17,181. Thank you.
Still a stretch from settlement in the ES. It's all the way down at 0375.
You said 17,180 in the NASDAQ, right? For settle. We're trading 17,260 right now. So we still got some room there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you that are just tuning in the NASDAQ, we were looking at a level that we pulled off the range and the chart from Friday. What we're looking at here is, as the market continued to break on Friday, the deepest pullback to the upside came on the 1230 bar, and that level came to 17,340.50. So we were really looking for an opportunity to see price auction back to that level for an execution to the short side. It got within about $9 of it, 9 points. And maybe we were too cheap on trying to get into that trade, whatever it is. But that level really has kind of put in the high of the session so far in the NASDAQ. We did not quite get as close to that as in the S&Ps as we did in the NASDAQ. That afternoon pullback high on that 1230 bar in the NASDAQ from Friday took us up to 50.37.5. We did get pretty close to it prior to the open on the 630 bar. We only got to 50.34 quarter. So within 4 points of it, we could have kind of preempted that trade, and we would be looking pretty good right now. Yeah, we are selling off. I think the Dow is the one that is really probably leading us to the downside here. Let's take a quick look at that. Oops.
Okay.
YM.
Dang it.
No, actually, the Dow is still kind of inside range. We're extending the regular trading hour range right now in the NASDAQ. We haven't extended the regular trading hour range in the S&Ps yet, but yeah, the NASDAQ has certainly extended the regular trading hour range to the downside here. What are we seeing? I'm going to take a quick look at the Mag 7 here. Meta is now pushing to the downside pretty hard. Let's see what Alphabet is doing.
All these companies reporting this week, of course.
Yes. So Alphabet kind of put in a high here. It's coming off that high pretty hard here, but it looks like Meta's the one that is having the real problem here. We're still higher in Apple. We're still higher in Microsoft. Looks like Meta's the one pulling everything down.
Okay.
I've never been a fan of social media myself.
No, John? Not a social media guy, eh?
No. Fake book.
All right, D, talk to us about that. We are still seeing more sellers here in the NASDAQ. Boy, that would have been a nice short. S&Ps as well. Looking for levels for longs. We haven't pulled anything. Yeah, a lot of these levels are pre-market. Market is different. Yes.
On gold, there is some excess that was left in C period to the upside. So there's a risk of failed auction here. But again, every time we kind of came up to 23.54.5, there was some sellers that stepped in. So I'm still trying to stay patient with this because the price action is also, to me, not really looking that convincing for longs just yet, or even for a neutral day. But it has slowed down the momentum.
More selling.
Yeah.
Getting close to that overnight low in the NASDAQ.
Yep.
Overnight low at 17,200 in the NASDAQ.
Okay.
This is getting to my maximum adverse excursion here, so I'm going to kill this. Right, so only down 130 there. I'm going to look for better, higher trade location for this. Because when the trade gets to my MAE, I don't wait for it to hit my entire stop loss, obviously. What I wanted to see is a quick run through lower. That didn't happen. And then it crept up into my MAE. So that means it's either the timing or the trade location can be improved. I still think we have this play of weakness inside initial balance happening. But a better price would be 23.55.5. And if they were going to just run lower, that should have happened already. So just by the fact that it didn't happen, I have to consider some of the other hypos now. So we have a potential for a neutral day, which means just pinging within this range that we already established. We have a potential of maybe going a little bit higher where the sellers came from first, and then going into short. And then we also have the potential for the failed auction that continues into a gap fill. So for now, I'm still on my first hypo of weakness inside initial balance, but I'm looking for a slightly better trade location. And with that, I might also even have an improved profit margin, because it's effectively the same trade idea with the same target objectives, but for a slightly better price, which means you can expand the profit target a little. Not like, bazillion takes, but,
They were
a little bit
rapidly approaching the overnight low in the NASDAQ.
Yeah, we are. What was that price, John? 17. We are really rapidly
overnight low 17,200 and 3/4 17,200, close enough.
Looking for levels here. Looking for levels. Don't have much down here. That short would have been this play. Don't have much down here. S&Ps or NASDAQ. We're still looking to pull some. You guys see anything? JD, holler at me. We just got a huge update here on Topstep with live account trader Nathan Wen. Wow, holy moly, up $54,000 this morning. I repeat, live account trader on Topstep X, Nathan Wen, up $54,000 this morning. Boy, we are only an hour into this trade. We got a live trader already up 54 G's. Nice trade, Nathan.
I'd love to hear more about this. I'm sure Mick's going to go
he caught the short.
Yeah,
he caught the short. All right, we're up coming out here to 17,200. We just dipped beneath 17,200 in the NASDAQ.
Right through it.
There we go. New lows.
New lows is right. 17,180 was the level we have here, JD, right? 17,180, perhaps along there.
Settlement, that was 17,180, 181 settlement from Friday.
A level.
It's one of Danny Hodgman's favorite plays, return to settlement.
Yeah, well, we sure did.
I think we have some content on our website, topstep.com. If you just go to our website and type in the search bar settlement, you'll see some good content. We have a couple videos and blog articles based around Hodgman's favorite settlement trade.
Shout out to Danny Hodgman.
So value low from Friday, TPO value low from Friday in the NASDAQ is 17,165. 17,165. Settlement 180. That's 15 points. That kind of looks like an interesting area.
17,165, 117,180. Okay. 165, between 165 and 180.
Yes.
I work a bid down there. We'll keep an eye on that level. See if that comes in.
I wonder if Dakota's still in that long and crude. He's got 100 ticks in it now. If he is,
you nail it.
I don't know. 100 ticks times 4. I think he was long. $4,000.
Very nice.
Very nice trades.
All right, coming down here to the 180 level, 17,000. 17,189 trade. Still selling off here. See how far this pullback comes. Possibly take a long between 165 and 180 settlement, point of control. Let me know if I'm not seeing something here, fellas and ladies, please. I know Deanna, you're out of your trade. You are flat.
I'm flat. Yeah.
Very good.
I am looking at 2354, 2355 as my area of interest, and I'll show you why. So on Bookmap, you can see there's a whole bunch of orders just sat there. And I also have that supply level that I mentioned in the beginning that is located on the 30-minute chart. So it's similar information, just gives you a slightly more accurate area to within about 2 points. So we'll see if we can get some sellers from that area.
We definitely got sellers here. Sellers and equities.
Yeah, I'm talking about gold though. I am scanning for news to see whether there's
anything.
like anything pertaining. Yeah, because it's starting to smell of risk off again. And if that's the case, then I don't want to be short, because if equities are falling, that means gold is going to rise. Whoops.
Amazon's at the door.
Yes, Amazon man. That's right. There's a guy on Instagram called Puppy Songs, and he writes like silly dog songs. Whoops. What's this? What is this? I think it's getting smoky. I don't know.
It is getting smoky. How'd that happen? How'd that happen? Wow. Every time that happens, my goodness.
Here's settlement in the NASDAQ. I mean, we're getting pretty
just
close.
Kissed it and bounced right off of it. Yeah.
Was it 80s?
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah, 181s. 182s are the low. To be precise, the low is 17,182 and a quarter. 182 and a quarter. So stop 2 points below, 2 points above it, and now we're getting a bounce.
Get the papers. I get the papers.
Oh.
All right. There's
Hit that smoke one more time.
Well, that gave us basically right to the point, huh? What the?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I can't see you. I can't see you guys.
It's smoky in here.
I can't. Yeah, where'd you guys go?
It's getting smoky in here.
Got 100 lot here in the Nasdaq.
420 was Saturday.
Yeah, can't see you guys. Oh boy.
Here we go again. All right.
All right. Yes.
Oh yeah, baby. What you been waiting for? Officer, turn that off, please. Thank you. All right. It is time for the file drill. Yes, it is. And hey, we've got 5,000 invitations to lock in one Topstep X trading combine for 25% off your first month. All right. So we've got the link. We could post a link here. We get that link in the chat. We can do that here. Remember, too, this is going to be up for 15 minutes. We got it up for 15 minutes, so make sure that you get yourself signed up for that form. Remember, this is for everybody. Form is going to be up 15 minutes here. Code expires Tuesday, April 30th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. And we got 5,000 here. So winners are going to be randomly selected. Those selected will be sent a code via email by Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Central. And those selected will be able to trade the updated micros contract. And speaking of that, we got another thing that I want to add to this. For you trade copiers, traders are able to copy trade across account sizes and express funded accounts and trading combines. So you can sort of trade copy everything you got if you want. That's if you want. Now remember, these micros, okay, micros here. There is the link, and we've posted it. We've pinned it up top. There it is. Click that link. Scroll up if you're not seeing it. We pinned it to the top of the chat, so you're not saying, where is it? Where is it? Topstep X. We are now allowing traders to trade the maximum equivalent contract values of minis and micros, 10-to-1 contract ratio. If you're trading silver, hi ho silver. If you're trading silver, it's 5-to-1, okay? So now you got the access, trade the same maximum amount leverage for the micros and minis. So right now, this is only available to TopStep X early access users. All right. We don't have a timeline to share the update with other platforms. So just a heads up. So you got, hopefully we've hit all aspects there. And I'm going to pass it back to Andre. Remember, this is for 25% off the first month of your combine. Have at it. Back to you, Andre.
Thank you. Thank you. Saw a bit of a bounce there off of settle in the NASDAQ. Trading right around 17,200 right now. S&P's trading 50.18. I did see a bit of a bounce there. But we will stay tuned. How about that fire, Joe? Told you guys we got that coming.
There you go.
Told you. Please make sure to stay tuned today. We got a big show today. Big trading week. Bit of a slow start. Did have missed a short there. We got a little too greedy with the entry price. That's okay. Good to see that the levels we're holding. Call it a paper trade. How about that? Call it a paper trade. Those are nice levels. I gain confidence in those levels we are pulling for future trades. So that's good to see.
You gotta watch those afternoon pullback highs and lows.
Okay. How does that play into the following, John? Why do we have to look at those? That feeds into the following trade.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing I really liked about this one, Andre, and I've got the chart up here. If we can move over, what's the bigger trend? The bigger trend is to the downside.
Yes,
so we opened in range in value. What was the trend on Friday? To the downside. Where did the market really try and recover and find sellers and then continue the move to the downside? Was at the afternoon pullback high in the NASDAQ here. That was 17,340.5. So we were focusing in on that level to look for a short. We got as high as 17,331.5. So about 9 points from it. We were looking to really try and get in on that afternoon pullback high as close to it as possible. It didn't quite get there. We didn't quite get our execution, but at least it's showing for the next time. Sometimes these afternoon pullback highs and lows can really be good. Now, if this was an afternoon pullback low, and the market was still in a downtrend, I probably wouldn't have taken it. But it was an afternoon pullback high in trend. That's the one you really want to keep an eye on. And it was really a nice opportunity. But we just didn't get to our level. Maybe, Andre, we were a little too cheap trying to get into that. But and I've been called cheap before, and that's okay.
It is okay. Coming up to keep in mind the fire drill form is pinned to the top of the chat right now. Typically they're up for about 15 minutes. I'm not sure how long this one's going to be up for, but it is pinned right now. Get in there. Get that hookup that we got you guys with. But yes, it is pinned to the top of the chat right now. Trading around 17,200 in. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you. It's going to be up for 9 more minutes. Hey, we got 40,000 people watching. Please click like. Please click subscribe. We're over 82,000 subscribers. My goodness, we just cracked 75,000. Just cracked 80,000. Now we are over 82,000 subscribers on the march to 100,000 subscribers. I don't know what we got planned for 100,000 subscribers just yet. We probably don't have anything just yet, but I can promise you it's going to be big. Yeah, everyone's going to like it. Big celebration. We get that plaque that Jack's been dying to get. We'll get that YouTube plaque, that's trophy. That makes TopstepTV legitimate. Yeah!
What do you think about the low in the NASDAQ right now? Do you like it? Do you not like it? I'm seeing value low TPO at 17,650.
Let me pull up the NASDAQ chart.
John, when you ask her that, are you asking is it a weak low, is it a strong low, or just what thoughts in general, how the market traded to that level?
Well, I mean, the Dow traded down basically to settlement and saw a nice bounce. The NASDAQ traded down to settlement and saw a decent bounce. The S&P haven't gotten anywhere near settlement, nor have they gotten to the overnight low. Both the NASDAQ and the S&Ps took out their overnight lows. The S&P, both the NASDAQ and the Dow traded through their overnight lows, traded back to settlement. If I was going to buy anything, it would probably be the ES, but we're not getting good trade location for the ES. Just wondering what D is thinking about this low in the NASDAQ.
So we are at the bottom of the range from Friday. And obviously there's settlement there too. So the bounce from settlement can sometimes be a decent trade if you're looking for more range-bound conditions.
So it's a see money, take money.
Yeah. We did leave some single prints in the initial balance, so that was a huge jump down. And whenever that happens, there's always a possibility that we take the price through it back again. So to go up from settlement through the single prints left behind. Let me just have a look at larger time frames, because that's going to give me... I mean, we are trending down, aren't we? So that's the only thing that's worrying me with longs.
Yes.
That any kind of short-term swing lows may not hold on the basis of that. And I mean, I don't really have anything else apart from that swing low plus the settlement from Friday. So, I mean... I would have preferred if we had like average session low or average daily range low, because those tend to be stronger levels for reversals. So one play that we can maybe look for, there's an established high here, localized high at 172.1750, and it's trying to take that out. So if we get any sellers jumping in here, then the two up of single prints could be a little scalp back to overnight VWAP. And VWAP is not really sloping much, so this could be a range day. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad. So if we're going to do this, we need to be quick, because this is not a trade to be, sitting around and waiting for it, because it's just going to go. So John, yes, settlement from bounce. This would be the setup.
Right.
Yeah.
We bounced.
Yeah, we did. We're
easing into this Monday, John. We're easing into this week right now.
Yeah, a little more prepared to act when we get to those levels.
Easing in, it's all right. Days of FOMO are long gone for me.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
You got it, man. Hey, JD, if we're ready.
Yeah, you want to do hot streaks while Hoag's out?
Let's do some hot streaks. Perfect timing. John's on a little coffee break. Let's get some hot streaks in here. We are monitoring this level. 17,200 or NASDAQ, 50-20 in the S&Ps. I got the house account up. Probably could have got in a little earlier. Didn't want the market to come back a little bit more, but we never got there. Maybe a little more aggressive. It is early Monday. One's on me. Being a little tentative heading into the week. Didn't want to pull the whole wad right off the bat. JD, let's do these hot streaks, man.
Yeah. For sure. I never touch base with James. Hey, James, are you there? Can you throw up some overlays for me?
Oh,
I absolutely can.
We got to touch base with James.
I got to pull up a dashboard real quick. All right, I'm good to go. All right, funded trader hot streaks. What are my notes here? Oh, we lost two names from Friday. Che took a drawdown. Ended a streak at 28 days. Nice job, though, Che. Thanks for playing. And Tien, we heard Mick talking about Tien last week. Tien was called up to the live account. So we'll be checking back in on Tien's progress. He's off the list today since he didn't trade on Friday while he's transitioning over to that live funded account. So with that, our new leader, Arian, taking over the top spot. Arian's on a 26-day heater with close to $2,300. Nice job. James is right there on 26 days also, worth about $5,000. Faye at 23 days, and our two newcomers, Esteban and Brian. Esteban at 19 days, Brian at 17 days. Nice hot streaks all around there. Way to go, guys. All right, yesterday's best live funded P&Ls. Pretty decent days for our live funded traders on Friday. Eddie put up $5,500 trading the NASDAQ. Isaac with $5,000 trading the S&P. Xavier carved up the NQ and MNQ for a solid $4,500. And Hoa and Prince becoming household names around here. Both nice days trading the NQ. $4,300 and $3,500 respectively.
Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Isaac. Yeah.
And don't forget about our other live funded trader. Who was that?
Yeah,
give
him the update. Nathan Wynn.
Nathan. Mick just gave me an update. He's up $57,000 now.
57,500.
57,500, locking it in.
Wow. Real time, folks. Straight from the wrist department to the air. 57,000. My goodness, that's good money.
What a day. That's great.
Seriously, what a week. What a week. Call it a week, man. You're good, Nathan. You're good.
Let's see. I can pull up. I could see who our leader was for the week last week. Give me just a minute. Let me find the right.
We're starting to see some really big numbers get put up here. Just post on that. We are coming up to 45 past the hour. Light day on the economics, light day with earnings. Keep in mind, we really start rocking and rolling tomorrow for the rest of the week. Boy, this is the Super Bowl. What is it? Earnings, the Super Bowl earnings week, as Rips would call it. Big stuff coming here on Topstep TV. D, we never saw a pop in crude or pop in oil with the sell-off in equities for risk off. We never got confirmation with risk off there? Because I'm looking around, I'm not seeing anything on the wires here. That was just a pure technical sell-off. Yeah, a little technical sell-off. That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and short this gold again. So we'll see. Because, I mean, we haven't really moved to any new levels. We're still sitting around that 23.55 area. And it all looks like a slower day on gold, which is not unusual rollover week. And Mondays.
Yes, it is. Hey, JD, when you get that data, please fill us in on that.
Yeah, I'm looking through it right now. There's a trader that we're really not supposed to be mentioning, so I'm trying to sort of
don't mention it.
Through a few things.
Persona non grata. Yes. Well, while we're doing that, Eddie, I just heard that beautiful voice of yours. Eddie, hit us with some stuff. The plugs.
Vigo. Yes. Hey, for those just chiming in right now, you got a couple minutes here. We got that fire drill pinned up top. Quick, click on it because we're going to be pulling it very soon. And hey, just a reminder too, for those just chiming in, traders are able to copy trade now across account sizes. All right. Express funded accounts, trading combines. If you want to trade copy, you could put those all under one. Also, just want to let you know here that the micros in TopStep X are now 10-1. Yes, indeed. All TopStep X early access traders can trade the maximum equivalent contract values of the minis and micros. But please note, if you're trading high-ho silver, if you're trading silver, it's 5-1 right now. So there you have it. Back to you, Andre.
Good stuff. How about that? A lot of stuff coming out on a Monday here. Good to see.
Yep. Hey, I got live funded P&Ls from last week. If you're up for it, for the week, our top
for the overall week. Yeah, we could do that. That's pretty cool.
So, our guy Salmon, who we've been hearing quite a bit from, profited $42,178 last week. That's a pretty decent week. Number 2 on the list, you're looking at it right now, Deanna. $23,546 last week. Nice job,
D.
Yeah,
look at you, D. Okay.
Wait, I think.
Yeah, I've been in a drawdown for 2 months, so let's see how it
Mick's
goes.
correcting me right now. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'm not sure that dashboard is correct. I think it was more like a grand or something.
Mick's over my shoulder right now saying that dashboard is. I was about to throw the F-bomb out, but I'm not going to look at this dashboard anymore today. We're going to get someone to fix it.
Yeah, I was up, but it wasn't 2,300, so that doesn't sound right. I have looked at my dashboard; it's all messed up. So I'm like,
Sorry to get everybody's hopes up there.
Oh, that would have been tight. Hey, I think that link is coming down. Fire drill link is coming down very, very, very soon. So hopefully everyone got that in, pinned to the top of the chat there, but that is coming. It's gone. It's gone. Now you see it. Now you don't. We did give you 15 minutes. Appreciate all those that joined. This fast market is moving rather quickly here. Nothing on. Oh, we do have 1030. We do have a couple 3-month and 6-month bill. Nothing too significant. Those barely move us. But it's just good to be cognizant of what might be coming up on the horizon here.
So we're kind of looking at a cheap opportunity for a cheap short in the NASDAQ right now.
Is that right?
This most recent I had 237. I would put a stop in above 240 if we're going to take a short right here. So maybe on the next pop, we could discuss
237
scaling into a cheap short position. When I see volume drying up as we move higher on that recent pullback after hitting settlement in the NASDAQ, when I see the buying pressure start to die, it's kind of a signal that maybe it could start turning around shortly. Again, I'm looking at a short time frame charter. This is a 5-minute chart, just based off that pullback from the low at 182, just above settlement price, actually.
Yeah. I see what you see there, JD. Look at targeting level of 17,230, 227, 237. What did I write here? 227, right, JD?
Yep.
227.
Question about our hot streaks list. Rockin' WTJ. The hot streaks, the P&Ls that we show with the hot streaks are just the profits that happen during the duration of that hot streak. It's not the total account value or account balance that they have. Just the amount of profits that they made during the course of their hot streak. Hope that clears it up.
Sorry it took me so long. I just dumped a whole cup of coffee all over my stairs.
Nice.
Did your stairs turn into an escalator?
Pretty much.
Little
You
cafe.
just had to wipe that up.
Okay, we're starting to see some sellers
over a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Market's turning over here.
Missed another short opportunity there. See if we can extend this range a little bit lower.
Okay, something's happening with my brackets, guys. So I'm gonna have to reach out to someone.
Oh man. So we're not probably not thinking about a long here. It's contrary to the bigger picture.
To the trend, yeah. I would say this would be a long in equities now, especially in NASDAQ. It would be a risky trade.
Yes.
Cheap, but risky.
Yeah.
Well, we do have levels around 17,165 to 17,180, 65s to 80s, which we're approaching here. There's a bit of support, but with this rollover does have you questioning that. In terms of level, this like all the levels we really got here. 17,165, John, in NASDAQ. S&P's kind of slow.
Let me take a look-see here. 165. I mean, it's value low from Friday. 165.
And settlement. But the problem here is that, like with any longs at this point, is that the single prints actually gave a reversal price action on NQ.
Mm-hmm.
That's, to me, a case for a continuation short, not for longs. Because effectively, if you look at single prints as an area of supply where strong sellers were located prior, and then you get a reversal price pattern, what does that tell you? It means that the price is rejected. This is why I said if we chew up through all of it, that might be a quick scalp. I didn't say, let's go in and keep it. I said, but if it fails, then that goes with the trend. So, I mean, for me, actually, a breakout downwards would be a key trade to take.
There it is. Here it is. Here's the breakout.
Exactly. Yeah. Case in point. Mic drop.
S&P seeing sellers trade 50-14. Will they target 5,000s?
Yep. All the equities except the Dow are extending below the initial balance. Hey, maybe we'll get a failed auction down here.
What we're thinking here, right? I don't know these levels. We did test that a while. Well, the spreadsheet here, look at some of our levels. 17,001, 181, 179, 132. So we're right there.
Well, the NASDAQ just created a level. So did the S&P's initial balance low. IB low price? Is 17,182, basically settlement. So if we hold below that, we got some time. I mean, we've got, 6 minutes left before the next bar opens. But if the next bar opens below that level, that kind of creates some single TPOs that we can lean on as supply, right?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So let's play.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay.
And if we eat up all those single TPOs like Pac-Man, then we may end up with a failed auction.
Cool. All right, good stuff. All right, we got some trade ideas formulating here.
And as always, initial balance low can be an orientation point and an entry point as well. So we have to maybe put that in. And one of the reasons why I can't sometimes give you the levels of the initial balance high and low is because we don't know it pre-market. So that only becomes known after the initial balance is over. So now that we have that, so in NASDAQ 171.81 would be an area for further shorts for me. It's kind of like a line in the sand. If we go above it, 171.81.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm coming up to it right now. Well,
we call that market-generated information.
It's the best kind of information, right?
And if you're listening, if you're not familiar with the initial balance, first hour of regular trading hours. That's the initial balance that Hogan D and I are talking about.
Yeah. Thanks, JD.
All right, so we got John, no trades, JD, no trades, Deanna, one trade.
I've got one trade, so I'm back into short gold at 2355.2.
Good.
We're trying that same trade idea, just slightly better trade location.
More selling. My goodness.
More range extension coming in the
something
NASDAQ.
was happening with my brackets though, because I popped in a trade and I do have it set to risk 220 to get 500, and I was doing 4 micros, and when I put it in, it put my stop loss like a million miles away at 800 risk. So I don't know whether the team can maybe have a look, because that sounds like the scaling of contracts is a bit messed up. So I had to manually adjust them.
Right, look at this 165 number level in the NASDAQ.
Yep, 165 is value low. TPO value low from Friday. Volume value low, 17,148. But if we leave some single ticks here on this next 30-minute bar opening, as long as those single ticks remain, it's a short.
I have a volume.
So we could front run a trade. We could front run a trade maybe with half the position, and then when we get the confirmation of single pad, what do you reckon?
We do that. Looking what, 80s, 81s? NASDAQ, 81s, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the IB low. If we get it.
We get there.
I have Friday's volume point of control right around 158 in the NASDAQ also. So there's a lot happening right around this area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any news? I'm not seeing anything. Eddie, keep scanning those wires if you see anything, but
no.
We just be technical sell-off here.
Just trend to continuation.
Yep.
You know, 2 minutes to see if we open this next bar with single TPOs.
All right, John, so let's talk about this next 2 minutes. What are we looking for once we hit the top of the hour, 10 o'clock Central? We hit it. What are we looking for that new candle?
Okay, so what we're looking at here is the profiles from the NASDAQ. So our IB low we know is 81, 82, 81, 82 area, right? So, we know we've got value low from Friday right here. So what we're looking for in the next 30-minute bar to open, leaving single TPOs. So we want it to open down here if we're looking for shorts.
What's the price?
There's lead. We want it to open below 81.
Yeah, we're currently there.
And my dog's barking. Hang on.
I got you. We'll see what happens. We're coming up to the 10 o'clock, top of the hour here. Stay below 81s. Nice. That might be a cheap short. Is congruent trend. Haven't asked you yet about Delta, John. Let's do a quick thing. Let's take a quick peek at Delta. I haven't done that all morning.
Delta in the NASDAQ is negative 1,600. The S&P negative 5,200. So it's congruent with direction.
Yes, it is. All right, we're trading 17,180 in the NASDAQ here. It's going to be tricky here. We got less than 60 seconds. Yep.
So if we are going to scale into a short here, Hogue, what kind of stop level are you looking at? What type of risk are we taking? Shorting below the initial balance.
Right now, it looks like this next bar is going to open inside the initial balance. Now it's kind of off.
Okay.
If we leave the single TPOs below the initial balance and we never go back down there, that's going to present as a failed downside auction, and the trade then would be to the upside.
Oh, we just did it. So we closed within that.
Yeah.
So 81 here is pivotal. But it didn't really give us a clear signal here, did it, D?
No, I hate it when it happens like right on the nose. It's like, really?
I'm long from about 5 from long from 83 here.
Okay,
I thought I heard a
failed downside auction. Failed downside auction. Long from 83
awesome.
here. But just 5 times. We're going to try scaling this, see if we can move to the upside here. But we did
get
that downside auction.
In C period, so
House
something
account,
to take note. If we start to take out the single prints in C period below that initial balance low, that will be an invalidation point. So we don't have to eat up the entire stop loss. That will be an invalidation point for further shorts.
I like that. Okay, great. All right, so we got a risk reward here. The price below, Deanna, it would be.
Well, if I can.
It's okay. If you're going to trade, please
monitor
that.
Okay, my trade is a slow trade because I'm using 55 tick stops. So I've got some time to have a look at things. Okay, so I've got to come closer here because I'm very blind.
Oh no!
It's okay. It's just age. So what is that?
Me too. Gotta have my cheaters.
I know. I can't. Yeah, we're taking out the single prints. Unfortunately, guys, hold on. I've just seen it take out the C period. Yeah, I would still say this is risky. But
it's all risky, D. It's all risky.
Not all. I would disagree with that statement. There's risky, and then there's risky.
And then there's risky. 5 from 83. We're gonna try to build into this. Look, probably failed downside auction play. Got the levels in here.
You really need to see that above 2381 of everyone if it's going to be a proper failed auction.
81?
For price velocity. Yeah.
We're above 81 right now.
Yeah, we need to push from here if this is going to work.
We need a push.
Yeah. Because failed auctions are momentum trades. They're not trades that are like, ambling around and doing nothing for 2 hours. It's like it closes back inside the initial balance, back into the first hour of trading range. And in most cases, if you're not already halfway through the initial balance in like the next 15 to 30 minutes, it's not a failed auction. It's then a quieter day that carries more odds for a neutral day type, range bound. So there's a price velocity to take into continuation. That was actually taught to me by one of the colleagues that I sat next to in a prop trading firm. So if it's too slow, it's not a failed auction. The auction needs to fail and then go back exactly where it came from.
I got Dakota. Dakota's long as well from 170. Dakota long from 170.
Okay.
Here. He's targeting 200. So he's like building into this as we hit 200, 17,200 if we are going to scale into this trade.
Yeah, that would be congruent with a failed auction running.
Okay. So we're dipping a toe in the water, going to try to scale into this, playing the level. House account Dolby. That is a house account trade. I know it's only a 5, but we're going to look to scale in. It was counter trend.
As we confirmed the failed auction. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to confirm that before we close. Dolby, that is a house account trade. Just chopping around here. Oh, John, Delta. Yeah, Delta minus. Gotcha.
Let everybody know, if you missed the form this morning, we will be posting it again in the afternoon and tonight at the beginning of slow market. So you'll have another chance. There's my dog again.
Yes, we will. Well, Lacey. Double bottom here. We got, we'll see. We'll see. Take a look at the other markets. S&P's kind of chop around this 50-12 level. Might give the old 5,000s a test here. But right now, NASDAQ is just kind of just chopping around right now. So the longer we chop around at this level here, it's give you less conviction or more conviction for putting in a bottom here, a failed downside auction, so to speak, John.
The less I like it. The longer we stay here, the less I like it.
Same.
So we got to turn around. If we don't turn around, then we're not turning around.
The double bottom in the S&Ps.
They love to retest. Here we go.
Yeah, I would bail.
Yeah.
Time to get
this
out.
This would be an invalidation for me. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, we bail.
It's because it ate up the single print excess that we left earlier in the day.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And that's a bad sign for a failed auction. You don't want to see structure building below the initial balance if you're attempting a failed auction. You want to see maybe excess and then maybe like 1 or 2 TPOs per row around the initial balance low. That's all that I will allow for that particular setup. And then if it doesn't run, that becomes my invalidation point. I'm not going to wait for the stop loss to get hit. And this goes for any market that you're looking at. It's the same market mechanic.
Okay, cool. Failed.
Yeah.
What do you think of the short?
It's too slow now because we got 2 TPOs below the initial balance low. We might be able to find a neutral day trade at some point, in which case I would probably go with like something like Dolby's ranges. So wait for the range to get established and then just basically scalp it around the range. But right now, this is not strong to the downside, nor is it a failed auction because we have, we had 3 TPOs that have been built around the edge of the initial balance low. That's usually not that conducive to momentum trades. But it is a feature and a hallmark of range-bound days.
We did find some resistance in the S&Ps at IB low. We ate up all of the TPOs from the potential failed auction too.
Yeah, it's ambiguous though.
S&P's trying to take a peek to the downside. 50-11 here. We're seeing some consolidation in the NASDAQ. We got checking the tilt here. 72% short in the Y. Everything else around 50-50. Delta, we got negative 5,200 last we checked in the ES. Minus 1,600 in the NASDAQ. We are starting to see a bit more selling pressure here. S&Ps. John, don't have the Dow up right now at the moment. What's the Dow doing? Is the Dow leading the way down? Or who's leading us to the downside here?
I would say it's the NASDAQ and the S&Ps. The Dow hasn't taken out the low of the initial balance yet.
Okay.
The Dow also left the opening range at the high of the day. The NASDAQ and the S&Ps did not. So the Dow is really, it's different, right? Because the Dow, the opening range is the high of the day, but it hasn't entered into value from yesterday. NASDAQ and the S&Ps are well into value. As a matter of fact, the NASDAQ came all the way to value low from Friday. That value low in the NASDAQ again was 17,165. 17,165. That's value low. TPO value low. Look at the low in the Dow. The low in the Dow today is 38,228. Value high was 38,232. So value high provided support for the Dow. However, the Dow opened outside of range, left the opening range at the high of the session. It is now testing back to value area high. A value area special situation play would indicate that potentially, if price reaccepts value from Friday, then at some point in the session, price can move all the way to the low end of value from Friday, which brings it down to 38,118. We have to, this is difficult because it's very subjective as to, what marks acceptance inside Friday's value. We used to say we needed 2 30-minute bars to close back inside Friday's value or the previous day's value to mark reacceptance of the previous day's area of value, and that would put in the value area special situation play to move back to the low end of value at some point during the current session. We haven't seen that yet. We are showing signs of acceptance for sure inside Friday's value in the S&Ps. We haven't even left Friday's area of value in the S&Ps. We haven't left the area of value in the NASDAQ from Friday either. We opened inside of value. We've traded to the low of value. I mean, this is a kind of saying that this is the perception of value hasn't changed. I mean, we traded to the low of value.
Which would then also be a maybe a range bound day again.
Yeah.
So look
if we're the range bound day, are we at the low end of the range then? That's, I guess, would be my question. If we are we are still seeing more sellers here. We are not done selling.
We're negative 2,300 delta in the NASDAQ now, negative 8,600 in the S&Ps. I mean, there are some aggressive sellers here. But I mean, inside value, thank goodness that we kind of look for better trade opportunities as the day goes on when we open inside of the previous day's value. So let's see if the S&Ps get to value low from Friday. That level is 5,006 even.
All right.
We'll see if we get down there.
We're trading 5,000.
My gold trade is doing all right.
Very good.
Nice.
What was your entry on that gold trade again, Deanna?
352.
S&P's trading 5,009.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just saying, Dakota added to his longs in the NASDAQ here. He's looking for a move back up to 200, up to 17,200.
Looking at our heat map here, we got nothing down here. Our heat map gives us pre-market levels. Once the market opens, obviously things change, but consolidate right now. In the NASDAQ, we're coming up to 15 past. Got about 45 minutes left here in fast markets. Markets have been moving. There has been opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. That first trade was the keeper. We missed that second one. We were just keeping it a little too tight, I think. We'll loosen it up for tomorrow for sure.
I think so.
We could have just got there.
But
we'll take more
Deanna
risk.
said it right. When we first started, no one wants to start Monday off as a loser, digging yourself out of a hole to start the week. So I think we did play it right, being a little conservative on the first trade of the week. But I think we're getting another shot here.
Well, we ain't done. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how this plays out.
Selling. Thank you.
Yep. A gold trade, are you still in a D or have you flattened it?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. All right. I'm done grasshoppering out of my trades that I have a plan for. So
be right back, guys.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, S&Ps are still pushing to the downside. We've extended the range even more to the downside. Let's see if we can get down to that 5,006 level value area low from Friday. We've also got that naked point of control, the volume naked point of control up in that neighborhood as well, right, JD?
Mm-hmm.
This is true. Yeah, settlement 5,003.75 also. So there's a lot happening right around here in ES also. I have Friday's volume point of control at 5,002 also in the ES.
And a big dog here. What do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? Buy, sell? What do you think? What do you think?
I mean, I think this is a prime opportunity for a low risk, cheap counter trend long position.
Long.
See what happens when these.
I'm still in favor in shorts because that initial bounce low in Nasdaq is proving as a resistance. Like every time it touches it, some more sellers come back in. Every time it touches it, more sellers come in. And we do have a downtrend on larger time frames. So
right,
absolutely. Yeah, my initial bias was to the short side. It still is.
Yeah.
But this is a prime spot to take a very low risk, cheap long trade. If you wanted to, I suppose, take a guess at whether we're going to put a range low in here. But we're still extending lower.
Boom.
50. Here goes some stops.
Yeah. Volume value low in the NASDAQ, 17,148. And that's where I have.
What do I do with that level, John? What do I do with that? 148.
Well, I mean, if we're
we have the 100 lot guy in the NASDAQ right here at 53.5.
Yeah, we do. The 100 lot guy. Yeah. Stacking bids. Maybe taking profit.
And that's we got the volume point of control, 17,150. Volume value low is 17,148. I mean, I feel like we're trying to catch a falling knife here if we're going to try along.
That 100 lot just got ran through in the NASDAQ at 53.5, traded right out.
Okay. Well, I'll sit on my hands. I'll just go sit on my hands.
There's another one in there. There's another 100 lot in.
And Maria is saying, I think we test 170 area, 170.00, 17,000 area. I think she's right. I think it's very possible.
Oh, yeah.
Taking heat here. Hey, quick influencer update. Our live accounts are killing it today. I'm told. I've up to Nathan Wynn. He's been flat for the last 30 minutes. Total P&L, $57,500.
Oh, man.
And it's only 10 o'clock in the morning Central Time. Nathan, my goodness. Dakota up 6,500. Isaac up 1,500. Ping up 10. Wang up 4,100. Mark D up $3,300. Live influencers bringing the heat today, early on this Monday. I saw a bit of a bounce there off those 150s. Nasdaq not so much. Wow, vicious bounce right there.
A nice little bid, yeah.
Vicious bounce.
So the S&P's traded right to value, TPO value low. We were looking at that 50.06 level. That's the low.
Just watch the initial balance low in Nasdaq now.
Do we take a short there?
Yeah, this is what that was my trading idea all along. So yeah, short.
And we put a stop in above what 17,180.
I mean, whenever I trade Nasdaq, I traded with really wide stops. We're talking like 35 to 40 handles, but especially because we have, like, if you look at a 15-minute chart, there is a supply there, so that bigger stop would defend from all of that and give us time to react. But the primary entry and orientation point is this initial balance low. So if we're going to get more sellers, this is the time to go.
What level? You said leaning on what? 80s, 81s?
80s, 81s.
81s, yeah. Yeah, 80s, 81s, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe put a short in there. Scale in. We are seeing a bit of a tilt 50-50 for the most part. Delta is short, grew to 8,600 as we broke out to the downside there. Did we just put in a low for the day? Felt like stops did get tricked.
We traded right to value low, volume value low in the NASDAQ, TPO value low in the S&Ps, almost to the tick.
So what do we do with those numbers? Okay, so will we take a long? We see how we react to it? What do we do with that?
Well, both the S&P and the NASDAQ have been inside value all day long.
Okay.
It's cheap. It's a cheap long if you want to try it, but I'm more inclined to look for the short up against the IB low. Because it's
really not a cheap long anymore either. I wouldn't call this a cheap long opportunity anymore. We kind of missed that. Now you're just looking to if you're going to get long here, your stops.
This is now momentum. This is momentum short now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And somebody's saying, "Oh, you can't short here." Who says that? I mean, we've tried going higher, and every attempt at going higher has failed. So we can't just be, "Oh yeah." Because so we have an orientation point and an entry point that is pretty close to this price, right? So if it runs through it, that's our invalidation point. So, short here, yes, it's risky because it's always it's a breakout trade. Right. But if it's a downtrend in equities and we're looking at earnings where people are positioning for the week, they're going to be offloading some positions. So from that side of things, this is actually okay to do. It's not the fastest auction because we keep building structure, but it's still below the initial balance. So until initial balance low is rolled over, it's still a short. So we're just using market generated information to find a position here.
What is the market telling us? Well, the market is telling us it's rejecting the IB low.
Correct.
As here in the chat says, NQ will sweep 17,108.
So if you look at my book map, you will see some liquidity now that is defending this whole trade idea around that 171.81 all the way up to 171.83. So if we run through that area, that's the trade idea over. So that's where the stop loss will be going.
Got it.
But as long as we're below that, then this is still a move down.
Yeah, if we can get an execution close to that level, we might be looking pretty good.
Yeah, that would be great. But I'm not sure we're going to get that. So we need, alternative entries, which is not always easy in IQ because it's such a massive order. Yeah, Andre, so what's happening?
I'm working nothing. I'm hearing conflicting trade ideas as we speak right now. And we don't have any levels, any confirmation from the spreadsheet right now. I'm hearing failed downside auction. I'm also hearing cheap short. So I think for the time being, am I understanding that correctly?
Short. It wouldn't be a cheap short. It would be a momentum short, but it would be with a trend.
Okay. Then I'm also hearing putting in a bottom. So I'm hearing conflicting trade ideas at this exact price level.
Yeah, I get that, Andre. I mean, we're kind of still inside value. So looking at the range today, you would look at this and say, why would I short this at the bottom? I mean, we're still inside range. We're still inside value. But I think the stronger nuance, the ruling reason that I would be taking a trade here is the possible continuation below the initial balance. You're right, Andre. There is a cause for either side here. Yeah. If you look at the range today, the buy is a much better trade location if the low holds. But I'm kind of feeling like the ruling reason, the strongest nuance is the fact that we are holding below the initial balance. Would you agree with that, D?
I would, yeah.
And if you're going to take a short below the initial balance low, what type of risk would you take? If we were going to start scaling into a position right here, what's our...
if I'm just looking at Hit bookmap. Then I would say if we go to 171.83.25, that would be the trade done. So that's where I would
That's
be putting
our
my stop loss.
invalidation, 83 and a quarter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right back inside the initial balance.
Yeah.
83 is invalidated. That's where I got long from. That's where I got
That's
long
10
from
points.
This whole thing started. All right, cheap short.
It's 10 points.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Or not cheap short. Sorry, I got quit saying cheap short. All right, sold. All right, we're short from 70s.
All right.
5 times. Hey, real quick. There we go. Hey, real quick, JD and James. JD and James, let's do those top 10s right here while I punch in some stuff behind the scenes. But JD and James, if you guys got that, let's do the top 10 leaderboard. We're seeing some big numbers today. Hopefully we got some big numbers from Friday.
I've actually got the overlays. I could control it, James. Let me put up, I'll take care of it. We have yesterday's best XFAs, P&Ls.
Got it nice. JD doing both.
All right. First up, Kenneth. Kenneth carved up the NASDAQ for close to 25 grand on the week. Pay was actually copying trades across a pair of XFAs and profited a total of $45,501 on Friday, trading the NASDAQ. Pretty nice. Adam, whose name we're going to see in just a few minutes, pocketed about $18,000. Brian with close to 17 grand trading gold. And Candace rounds out our XFA P&L list with just over $16,000 trading the NASDAQ.
Beautiful.
Nicely done. All right. Here is top 10 list.
Almost got stopped out there.
Popping a little. Yep. All right.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're short at 70.
Yeah. Look at the range.
Real tight
out.
here.
And flat. All right, we got stopped out again. All right, down 25.
All right. We'll get to the next one.
Chopping
There
around.
we
That's
go.
it.
Yep.
All right. Here
Nice
is
talk to
our yep. Here's the bottom half of our top 10 list. Isaac is back in the mix. Nice to see you back on the list, Isaac. Raj is back too. Nice to see Raj back. Raj and Isaac have both spent quite a bit of time on our top 5 list.
Nice.
Philip. Looked like Philip was copying trades across 3 50K XFAs. Took home just over $6 grand in profits on Friday, which helped boost him into 8th place. Solomon, who's becoming a very familiar name around here, took a drawdown and dropped. Oh, no, he didn't drop a notch. He was in 7th place on Friday. He's 7th place again today. So he's holding on. And you is still hanging around also. You dropped close to 10 grand trading in a pair of XFAs on Friday. And still held on to that 6th place spot, though. All right.
Here we go.
What a drum roll, Eddie.
Yeah, what do we got? Come on, Dakota. Wow.
We land.
Bye-bye.
Look at that. So earlier I said Dakota was number 2 today, but we had to leave a trader off the list, being taken a look at by our compliance team for possibly
The 200K guy?
some trading violations. Yeah, the guy that's with the $230,000 account balance. They're taking a closer look at his trading activity, and we'll know more about him later. So that puts Dakota at number 1 for today, back in the top spot, and he's up $6,500 trading too. So nicely done, Dakota. Ryan M, Daniel, Jerry F, Adam D. Solid top 5 list. Not much of a change from Friday. I believe this is the same group as Friday. So, yeah, great job all around, guys. I didn't get too much of an opportunity to dive into
Dakota
trading activity from Friday because obviously I'm on the fast market segment. But I'll try and have more information about those guys for tomorrow.
Thanks, JD.
All right. I'm going to log on a house account. Think about logging on the house account or switching back to my screen for the time being. I feel like we're forced. We don't have rock solid levels right here. We're kind of doing a lot of hypothesizing as far as what the market may do. Maybe all roads lead back to VWAP. I'm not sure. Feels like we might be forcing it a bit.
Yeah, we got a nice temporary low end. It's pretty solid low in the NASDAQ right now.
And in the S&Ps.
We've made a total of 2 house accounts trades today. And would you say, what's our P&L?
Down 2,500.
2,500. All right.
Tight stops.
Yeah.
Very reasonable.
Andre, I mean, there were solid reasons for those trades.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm just saying, yeah, nothing's really hitting right now. It's so good. One trade was this short top. All good. But
Isaac, I see in there, Isaac. Isaac wants to know how many traders in the top 10 are actually in live accounts. Right now, today's top 10 list, leaderboard, there are 3 live account traders. 3 live account traders, 7 XFA traders in the top 10 list today. And also of our top 10 list, only 3 traders have taken payouts on our leaderboard.
Take some of that money.
Don't forget to pay yourself, guys. That's what we're here for, right?
Most important thing. Damn, trading 17,200 here in the S&P or NASDAQ. Did see that pop put on. It was indeed a failed downside auction. We are turning around here. S&P's really catch the bid. Nah, not as much as the NASDAQ has. NASDAQ, nice pop there.
It's now back inside the initial balance.
Yep. That's why you use stops, right?
So, man, we traded right to the low of value in the S&Ps. Now back above the initial balance. Low. Again, that IB low was 5014. Starting to put in higher highs, higher lows. Almost a head and shoulders at the low there in the NASDAQ and in the S&Ps.
All right, let's take a look around here.
Getting a good bounce there.
Yeah.
Wow, what a pop.
Now we have a failed auction.
Now I'm long.
We definitely have a failed auction. I would agree. I would definitely agree with that.
But again, the stop that I would use for these setups is not 10 or 20 handles. It's like more 35, just to kind of encompass that initial balance low. Like we save some money, but
what significance does what kind of weight does the initial balance low carry now? Since we've got the failed auction, we traded back into balance.
It's twofold. So we have a couple of things here. So there's the open inside value, which very rarely brings some big moves, but it can be a change in sentiment if it's happening at a swing extreme. And then you get these like huge jumps that reject value and they just start running. So that's something that happens a lot in NASDAQ. But on an inside day, when you get a failed auction, then you have a chance to maybe go to VWAP. Again, it's not a massive trade because I'm thinking this is more range bound now, purely because we built so much structure on the profile. Usually failed auctions happen that are going to run really quickly. They happen a bit earlier in the day. So it's not really quite like the timings are not lining up for me here. We're almost close to lunchtime. So, yeah, I mean, it will be one of those range-bound trades where you take the other side and then you just run it to the middle of the profile or VWAP or point of control or anything that's like the middle of the middle reference.
Yeah, I'm in a long. I just jumped into 2 and not really happy about the location, but I want to do something here, so we'll see what happens. As long as we stay inside the initial balance, we'll be all right.
It's a European close as well. Dan Trader is saying European close can bring a little wiggle too.
And that was a wiggle.
Yeah.
One
thing about European close moves, the reason why I'm saying that it's time-wise, I don't like it. It's purely because European close wiggle never lasts. So to me, it's actually statistically a little bit iffy when I'm getting failed auctions around the European close.
Yeah, I clicked right as the market popped to the upside. I got a really bad fill on that. I'm long at 50.18 quarter. I'm not real happy about that location, but if you look on the 500 tick chart, it just popped right up there right as I clicked.
Yeah.
It happens.
All right, catching the bid in the NASDAQ here, trading 17,215. Dakota, holler in the chat here. So people wonder if you did get stopped or if you did hang tight. You were targeting this price here to the upside. Crude shop around $82. Gold not as action packed as we've seen recently in the last week or two. Like I said, gold has been the star of the show. What a show gold's been putting on. That beautiful.
Yeah, it's been a monster. I've been on micros because you just can't do, like, I would have to risk probably about 500-600 per trade if I was to use my signals and stuff. So I've gone down to some micros to try and control risk a little bit more, and I'm still aiming for about $200 to $300 bucks per trade as risk. Yeah, it's not that lively today, is it?
Pretty quiet. I'm seeing volume dry up the whole way down.
I'm buying another one.
Do it, Og.
There it is. Hasn't been my way one at all, but I mean, if we're going to reject that low, we're good.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
Are we done with the house count?
No, I'm logged out. I'm currently logged out. Going to get back to driving here. We're watching for some levels.
Cool.
Coming up for the time being. It's definitely not closed. Just simply switched over to my personal screen. I can get a better view of the markets, what's going on all around the 5 different markets, as opposed to just honing in on NASDAQ and S&P. So that's kind of why I'm back, so I can take a peek at crude, gold, and the Dow. How's the count set up? It just has NASDAQ and S&Ps on it. So I'm really hyper-focused on that. Now, let's take a step back, take more of a global approach here. Global look at the markets.
What's your average price, Og?
1775, 1775.
Yeah, 4 on or 5?
4. 3. I'm sorry, 3.
3.
Should I put on another one?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, if we're going back to VWAP, you know where you're getting out.
All right, we're along 4. 17.5. Let's see what happens. Some good, some bad. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we
want to start scaling in some longs on the NASDAQ too.
We'll see what happens.
Danielle, if you want, that'd be great. Just ticks wise, ask what the stop. Sorry, Danielle, I gotta quit typing. But yeah, Danielle, if you could just say what the stop is, that'd be fantastic. Catching a bid. Wow, nice little pop. Wow.
Real nice pop.
Dow lagging a little bit. S&Ps and NASDAQ really pushing here. Crude bounce off VWAP trading $82.04. So we got crude rallying, S&Ps, NASDAQ, Dow all rallying. Gold kind of just chilling out right now. We do see that every now and then. We'll see all the markets rallying in concert.
How are we looking, Og?
Well, we're looking good. I've got an order to get out of 3 of them at 50.21, just short of VWAP. And we're going to let the other one run till whenever.
Moon. To the moon. MOC that
to the moon.
Thing.
MOC.
That'd be so sweet.
We'll see. It's not really the best reward over risk, but at least it'll get us off the it'll get us on the board.
Yeah, for sure.
A little problem here on the 50 session moving average on the 30-minute chart.
Here, loan the S&P's 5,006. Never got to that 5,000 level. A lot of us thought we were going to go take a dip there. You see some people saying we're going to get to the 17,100s in the NASDAQ. Didn't quite get there just yet, as always. Damn, Dakota. I did get back into that long in the 50s. Dakota said just closed for another 6K, sitting at 11K today. Well done, Dakota.
Nice
the
job,
permable. The permable.
There you go.
Terrible.
Great job, man.
Yeah.
Dow's not doing a whole
You're
lot.
hot, you're hot.
So 5,000. We just won't see 5. Well, I guess we did see it overnight. Here, nothing coming out of that 3-month or 6-month bill, so I didn't give you an update on that. Like I said, those are very.
All right. So we just realized $475 in profit. We still have one on.
Nice.
We're going to manage this, cut off some of the risk on this one a little bit up to this swing low here. And we're going to let this thing fly.
Nice trade, Hogue.
Hey.
Let that sucker run. Coming up to VWAP. VWAP and that's a piece 5022. 5022. We got NASDAQ trying to crawl higher, possibly with VWAP in its sights. Jack, I'm ready for you at 40. If you are ready for us at 40, just jump in whenever.
Always ready. Hogue's out of that.
Oh, is that born ready? Born
ready.
ready.
Born ready. So, even though Michael's not here, I'd be remiss if we did not do one Series 3 question. So, James, let's see what we got today.
In his honor.
Yeah, our fearless leader seems to be rather upset at Kaplan lately.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Tomorrow when he's here, we'll have to ask him about that. Anyway, here is your question for today.
What is this?
If an investor expects a general decline in interest rates but wants to use a spread to avoid too great a risk exposure, they would buy A, T-bills and sell T-bonds, B, Eurodollars and sell T-bills, C, Eurodollars and sell T-bonds, or D, they buy T-bonds and sell T-bills.
If I answer, it's going to be a guess.
I used to trade Eurodollars. So
I was going to say, Drake, this is your domain.
I think I got. Wants to avoid great risk exposure.
It doesn't give you any time. Like you're expecting a general decline in interest rates.
Yeah, I don't love the wording of this question. I took it directly from the book.
We expect declining interest rates. You would buy Eurodollars, but I don't know about the sell T-bonds or sell T-bills. If you sell those, you expect rates to increase.
I would buy bonds and sell bills. I think D.
Yeah, it's not your. Well,
I'm torn also.
Yeah,
James. Let's see the answer because it is indeed D.
There you go.
D. So you're buying the bond because it's further out there on the yield curve and looking for that to increase in price as interest rates decline, and selling the T-bill as a hedge in the short term. But I agree, Hogue, like the timeline seems important in this.
Yes, Eurodollars are very short term. Eurodollars are too short term for that.
Yeah.
Well, this is also written before all the crazy stuff recently I feel like has happened with the interest rates because
it seems like it was written with a normal yield curve,
not inverted. Michael, did MP get it right?
MP got it right. Yeah,
he did. On the road, making moves. Michael, staying sharp.
Nice work. Yeah.
Good job, Michael. Good job. By far, Michael's favorite segment. By far, his favorite segment on the show. Yeah, we quiz Michael.
And he loves Kaplan.
He's doing all right. He's all right. What's up, Noah Hall? Gold taking a bit of a dip here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice pullback in equities. S&P's kissed that VWAP and pulled right back off.
Yep.
Seen that in
sure
NASDAQ
did.
didn't quite hit the VWAP.
They sure did, man. Oh, it doesn't look like we'll have to manage this trade for very long.
What's your stop? Oh, I see.
I've got it at 50.15, just the one that I've got left. Just below that swing low, that right here. This is where I bought it. On that little pop, I clicked and it just went boing. And then this little swing low is where my stop is. So we take out that little swing low, then we'll be out of this. But other than that, we'll just let it run.
This is why on range bound days I like to do profit taking in the middle of the middle.
Middle of the range, right?
Yeah. I actually use VWAP as a profit target. On range. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to echo something Eddie said here in the chat. Attention, all late units fire drill. If you missed it, don't fret. We'll share the giveaway form again with you this afternoon and again in slow markets tonight, 8 p.m. Central. If you missed it, well, why were you late? We've been just promoted forever. But anyways, if you did miss it, we will put it back later today, and we'll have that form in slow markets this evening with Coach Dakota. As you see, we do that group coaching form pinned to the top of the chat here for Coach Robert. Ask Coach Robert anything. Please feel free to do that. JD, you don't have to nudge me to promote the group coaching form again. I got you. I beat you to it, JD.
I actually just posted the form. I was going to say it myself,
saw that.
But you beat.
I saw that. I went off your lead. I went off your lead there. That's why I did it. I'm like, I know JD's going to ask me one way or another, so let's get it out there.
Yeah, Coach Robert and myself will be in there.
Yeah. Look at the schedule. Oh, everyone's favorite for power players. I know it might be a little early for today's schedule. If you guys get that ready, I'll buy some time here. Get today's schedule ready as we go over it here. I'll go over in about 2-3 minutes. Look at the trade. John, did you cover? Are you flat? Or did you how'd that go? Are you still in?
We're still in it. We're still in it.
Great.
I've got the top below the previous swing low.
All right.
You know, if
we
lose on this one lot, it's $75.
Oh, so
it's not a big stop. It's just kind of hanging around entry price right now. The entry price is 50.60.5, and that's just the runner.
Gotcha. All right, we'll still in profit. All right. Well, while we're watching that trade, monitor that trade, I'm going to go over the schedule for the rest of the day very quickly. Whew, power players. The man, the most photographed man on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, the Einstein of Wall Street, Mr. Peter Tuchman will join Dolby. Please tune in for that. That guy gives you real insight straight from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. His energy is unmatched. Your human cup of coffee here on a Monday. The big weeks. Actually, to talk about earnings, what his thoughts are perhaps on the big earnings week. This price action as well. Top quiz, Jack and Alyssa. Shoulder tap with myself and my man Mick. We did hear Mick in the background. Maybe give us some more updates on our trader up 57 G's today. Update there. Then we got Strategy Lab with Anne Marie, and then Power Hour, Dolby, myself, and Austin Silver. You see him in the chat. ASFX. Very interesting character. Good trader. No fluff, no filler there. He's real. And, of course, slow markets with Coach Dakota. We'll have a tardy for us.
And
trader here. Nicholas Ranella asks, I got a question for you, John, here. I got a question in the chat from Nicholas Ranella. WTF is VWAP? Can we get a lingo lesson real quick? What's VWAP, John?
VWAP is the volume weighted average price. So I think that the true definition of it is from wherever it's anchored, and this one anchored last night at 5:00 p.m., there is even volume on both sides of that price. So there's the same amount of volume that traded below it as traded above it. That is the volume weighted average price. A lot of folks look at it. A lot of longer time frame traders use it for their executions. If they're a buyer that day, they want to try and buy below VWAP. If they're a seller that day, they want to try and sell above VWAP. Their goal is to beat VWAP.
Yep.
Maybe sometimes they succeed. Maybe sometimes they don't. But it is. I mean, you can look left, and you're going to see that VWAP and some of the deviation bands of VWAP do offer some pretty good opportunity. We were long I got out of 3 of them right below VWAP. It traded right to VWAP and then came off a little bit. So we were able to take some profit. We still have 1 on. If this thing, if this thing turns around and trades near the high or whatever happens throughout the day, we're gonna be able to take that ride because we have that runner on. Great question. And I just spilled Peter Tuchman all over my stairs.
Human cup of Joe. That guy's electric, man. He comes on.
Yeah.
He's his passion for the markets, his knowledge for the markets, his experience. We got him and John on here, man. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You guys are getting the cheat code, man, to this stuff. We're shortening the learning curve around here. TopstepTV. Shout out from the chat. It's great to have JD on Fast Markets. How about that, JD?
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
People love you, man. People love you.
Dakota, I see you in there too. Dakota, I see you coming in there. Hey, Mick, you busy?
Represent.
Nice job, Dakota.
Dakota wants to know if you like apples, Mick.
Inside
you hear Mick laughing.
Yep.
I do like them apples, Dakota.
Did you hear that, Dakota?
I gotcha.
He does like them apples.
JD the chart master. JD is the chart master. More JD, they say. Nicholas Ranella says great explanation there, John. Shout out to Nicholas Ranella. Thanks for tuning in.
Everybody loves JD.
Oh, yeah. We got 8 minutes left here in Fast Markets. A nice little open.
I don't want to move my stop to break even just to answer a question in chat. If I did, I'd already be stopped out at break even.
Yeah, we have a...
Here's where my stop is. If I moved my stop to break even, we would have just gotten taken out. We're still participating. That's why I don't like moving stops to break even. So if we continue moving higher and we can, maybe if we put in a new high and we pull back and put in a higher low, I can move my stop below that. Maybe. We'll see. But it sure would be fun to leave this sucker on all day and get out at the dead high on the close.
It would be fun,
if
John.
that's the case. If that's the case.
We've had that debate. I think I've had that discussion with Dolby last week as far as moving your stop up to break even as opposed to keeping your stop where you initially put it. Because break even is essentially your entry, more or less. Yeah. So the market likes to retest it a lot. John, you were just talking about if you did move your stop to break even, you would have been stopped out already. Whereas you kept your stop at the initial price and we didn't get touch it yet. So there's a debate. I'm starting to lean more towards keeping your stop as is, as opposed to moving to break even. Maybe trailing as it gets more and more into the profit. But what are your thoughts, John, on moving to break even?
I'm not a fan of moving stops to break even. I mean, that's one of the biggest questions people ask me when I was doing personal performance coaching is, when every time I move my stop to break even, I get taken out and then the trade plays without me. What do I do? Right. I said, well, stop moving your stop to break even. You want to let the trade breathe enough so that it actually proves itself wrong by hitting a point of invalidation. But once you get to a certain amount of profit in a trade, then I think, you're smart to start to manage the trade technically. If you're in a long and you want the previous swing low to hold, you put your stop below the swing low. There's issues with that too, because everybody's going to be moving their stop to that break even level. And that those tend to get taken out. So trailing stops is an art form that I've never been very good at, but
sure.
We're sitting in profit. We got the thing going. I'm not going to lose much if it comes back and takes the whole thing out. We took a profit on some where we've got a runner on, and that's the idea for the runner is to leave it on. D, would you agree that moving stops to break even too early is one of the biggest killers of a positive strategy?
Yeah, too early is definitely not something I'm in favor of. The only time I would move stops to break even is like if you're maybe doing a challenge or combine and you are in profit, but at the same time, the combine, maybe you put yourself in a hole or something. So you're effectively just trying to preserve any profit that you have. Other than that, it just, to me, unless you're in a lot of profit and you have to maybe step away, sometimes I will move my stop if I have to go and open the door or something. So I will move it to break even until I'm able to come back and to manage it more actively.
Manage trade.
But yeah, for me and for the products that I trade, it just doesn't work because my products are very two-sided. So throughout the course of the day, both gold, crude oil, and our Robert, our Bob, gasoline futures, they are very double-sided. So it will whip you out before you do anything. And sometimes it's like we're talking 100 to 150 ticks ranges. So to me, it's just not been worth it. And my gains are never higher than like when I'm just managing the trade actively and I just take everything off. If I think that there's something not quite right in the trade or we're losing momentum or it's turning around, I would just take all of it off. So I've never really been one to move stops and mess around with stops because we use stops for a reason. So unless you're not there to watch it, I don't see that much use for it. Like I said, if it runs away from you and you want to protect that just in case something really odd happens or the platform locks up or, you know, some oddity happens, that's fine. But to me, it's never been like a primary way of me managing my trades. I'm either most of the time all in or all out.
We have a tendency, I think, a big tendency to overmanage trades as humans, right? It's very important to us. We want to love it and pet it. And
yeah, I mean, I fell into it, to be honest, being with you guys here, you know, and then, you know, crude oil kind of died on me. And then I tried over managing things. And for about a month, I became quite twitchy, where I wasn't allowing the trades to do anything. And then I effectively just, you know, overmanaged myself out of a perfectly good trade that ran for like 250 ticks. And I actually had it, like it was a failed auction in gold, like when was it, a couple of weeks ago? And I took like maybe 35 ticks out of it. And I was like, what am I doing? It's like, why did I exit that? That's not me. This is why I'm being super patient. I had some objectives to get myself back to following my plan rather than, you know, trying to be twitchy and to, you know, take profits on air. That was also a thing that I started thinking about. It's like, oh yeah, well, let's just cover it because then there'll be profits on air. It's like, well, who cares, right? So now I'm kind of back to my old self a lot. I've realigned myself with some of my plans. And, you know, if my plan says stay in, I stay in. So I'm not going to be jumping out for the sake of, yeah, D has to get profit on air. No, I don't. As long as I get profit, it doesn't matter, right?
Don't be a Lenny.
Don't be a Lenny.
I don't want to be a Lenny. Yes.
Don't be a Lenny.
All right, John. John, well, we got 2 minutes left here. John, looking good. Let that sucker run. Where it goes, nobody knows. MOC would be tight, John. That'd be nice for the show. MOC. All right, we're seeing rally here in the Dow as well. Crude ticking to the upside here. Okay, let's wrap this up. The man is in the waiting room, Mr. Peter Tuchman. His time is very valuable. I do see him getting ready to go, so we can cut this a bit short. Deanna, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you later this week. JD, awesome. The people love you, man. We'll see everyone back tomorrow, but let's just cut this a tad short because we got the man waiting in the wings right now. Power players coming up next. Let's do this.
D, safe travels.
Oh yeah, safe travels.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Excellent. Awesome.